ribs are perfect for celebrating those special moments. From tenderloin for Dad's big day to brats for your grad's backyard bash, they've got the freshest, highest quality meats in town. Visit Michael's Meats at 2130 Mendon Road in Cumberland, just north of the Ciabra Plaza. Make this Father's Day and graduations unforgettable with Michael's Meats.
WIC is a supplemental nutrition program that plays a crucial role in improving the health and well-being of children by providing families with access to healthy foods, nutritional education, and other essential services. WIC programs help improve the long-term health outcomes of mothers and children by ensuring all eligible families have access to cost-free nutrition resources they need to thrive. If you or someone you know could benefit from WIC, go to health.ri.gov/WIC. Sponsored by the Rhode Island Broadcasters Association.
You manage your business, we'll manage your finances. With Navigant Credit Union's cash management services, you'll boost efficiency and enhance performance. From collections to disbursements, it's the expertise you didn't know you needed. Try Navigant Credit Union today. Federally insured by NCUA.
WOON Radio.
It's Coffee In here on ON. Thanks for joining us. Joe Callahan here with Melissa Smith, who does not want to hijack the show anymore.
No, I promise to stay
kidding.
quiet. And yep.
John Waters here, and Tim Draper's here. And Tim, time for congratulations! I saw the whole big thing about Navigant Credit Union and Bryant University.
Yeah.
So
yeah. Well,
cool.
you know what? That'll be my message then. We'll do that one.
All right.
So
big doings over
Navigant.
there.
We have been working on a partnership with Bryant now for quite some time. They've going through some capital improvements to the campus, and we had some conversations early on about some different opportunities there. But you know, there are people out there going to look at that and say, "By $5 million, you guys spent $5 million on members."
That's exactly what I said, Tim.
But the reality is it's not a hey, this is a gift, and there's nothing in return. Navigant really becomes the banking partner of Bryant University. We're going to do some of their corporate work. We're going to put a branch on campus with ATM machines around campus as well. We're going to hire 8 interns a year from Bryant to work with members of our staff. Those are paid internships. But in return, again, we're going to have access to lots of different business opportunities over at Bryant, and it's a really good partnership. So that both sides are getting a little something. Again, it's not just hey, we're just going to give you a boatload of money. We're giving you some money over time, and the expectation is that Bryant will then help our credit union. Really, it's really built around our cash management program and help us really sort of develop that and grow that so that we can take that and do even more greater things out there. So the message is really, if you're a small business and you're looking for cash management services, hey, if we can do Bryant, we pretty much can do your small business. So give us a call at 233-4700 and ask to speak to somebody on the cash management team. We'll come out and talk about all the great products and services that will help you run your business a little smoother.
All right, Tim, question for you just popped in my mind. Has Navigant, do they want to get into this type of business that there are certain other areas like amusement parks and like the Xfinity Center, they are no cash, but there are certain machines set up where if you only brought cash, you can put cash in and get a card out so you can go buy whatever you want to go buy. I have no idea how those machines make money. You put $50 in, you get $50 back on a card. I don't know how they're making money.
Yeah, there's a whole thing about floats and different ways that they can make a little bit of money along the way. It's not something that we would necessarily do. I mean, we're going to have ITM machines over at Bryant, so the students and the faculty can all talk to people on our staff if they need to. We'll have an office on campus, like I said, that will be set up to do private consultations, credit counseling, loan applications, whatever those things might be. Our new our credit cards will be available to everybody over there. We're going to have an affinity credit card for the alumni. If they want a Bryant University Bulldog credit card, they'll be able to get a credit card for there. So, lots of things like that. I can't necessarily, Joe, think that we would be in the market for putting those machines in there. That's like the Change Bank on Saturday Night Live. You got $1, we'll give you 4 quarters. Well, how do you make money? Volume.
That's right.
So yeah, I don't think we necessarily get into that stuff. But you know what? The fact that we have access to the campus is really exciting to us, and I think it's exciting to the folks at Bryant as well.
I bet. All right. Well, a couple of exciting things happened in the city of Woonsocket yesterday. Hazmat crews went to Woonsocket High School.
For radioactive material,
radioactive material. Someone, a teacher's going through some stuff in the science lab, and here's an unmarked box.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Let's open it. See what's inside. And it contained low-dose radioactive material. It was being used to teach students. It set off alarms.
They were trying to make a flux capacitor.
Is that what they were trying to do?
Was there like a blue glow coming from the box?
It was a box of watches
Plutonium.
it was a box of Timex watches from 1962
Glow in the dark.
with aluminous dial.
But it set off meters in the school that are just there to gauge
Hey, that
that.
means the meters work.
Who
I
knew?
know.
The
Who knew there were meters at the school?
Meters worked. So, no kids were in the building at the time. The hazmat crew took it away, and the school is open today as usual. So there's no, but a little excitement over there. And then there was a fire in one socket yesterday.
Wait a minute. The question is, how did the box get there?
Well, they used it to teach kids
Oh,
Probably in
good.
the 60s.
in the
That's
science.
good. That's good to know.
I feel better now.
Maybe someone should have wrote on it radioactive material
Didn't you
in
go
the
to
box.
Osaka?
There's a symbol for that, isn't there?
Yes, there is. Well, it doesn't say how long it's been there. It just says it was just there. So
There's a lot of questions
There's
behind
some
that
hoarding
story.
happening in that classroom.
Certainly it's not since 1960s because
Well,
the building
no,
wasn't
no.
there then.
It's like the 2-inch layer of dust on it wasn't telling.
Yeah. Okay. Fire displaced 12 people yesterday in Woonsocket on Chalapa Avenue. John?
Jalapa or Chapala?
Chapala.
Jalapa.
Looks like
Chalupa.
Jalapa to me.
Chalupa.
So. Where's that
It's
in
off
here?
of Elm Street.
Okay, where the pizza
Hey,
is.
where the pizza place is.
It's right across
Where's
from
Elm
Pratt's
Street?
drugstore.
Is it? Oh, that helps, John. But this is 1:30 in the afternoon. The fire department shows up. They see the fires that in the basement reaching the third floor, so it was a big deal. And the residents got out, and then the firefighters went in and saved 3 cats and a dog.
Oh, I was going to say,
Oh,
don't miss
yay.
the important part.
Oh, that
They
is
saved
important.
the animals.
The animals have survived as well. Cause of the fire does remain under investigation. So that's what happened there yesterday. All
Never
right.
good when that happens.
So and then there's this fine woman, Mom of the Year, down in Portsmouth. Portsmouth woman is facing child endangerment charges after leaving drugs accessible to the child in her home. Police were called to the home on June 5th after a 10-year-old called 911 for the medical emergency. I think they had to revive her.
Yeah. No, the kid gave her Narcan.
That's right. That's the story. That's right. Okay.
She had Narcan
Yeah.
in the house as well as the drugs.
Okay.
So the child, who was only like
He's
8
10.
or 10,
We has 10.
knew how to give her mother Narcan.
Well, who
My
taught him
goodness.
that? That had to be.
That's
the
a
mom-
whole bunch
The
of
mom
questions.
have to
you
tell
See,
her
that's
that.
so the mom goes, okay, I'm going to probably take drugs. So if I do this and I do this, you need to do this.
Do this. Yeah.
Really, we got to teach our kids that.
Yeah.
So yeah, she got arrested. Oh well. Mother
Yeah.
of the year.
Family member previously taught a family
I'm
member
waiting for more details, Tim.
previously taught the child how to administer Narcan. So not
There-
not the mom, somebody else.
Okay.
But another family
But then
member.
somebody else knew there was a problem in that house.
Well, yeah. So DCYF is keeping the child safe. The parents not allowed any contact. She's scheduled for arraignment on Thursday.
Now, based on recent
Wow.
news, why is
Yeah.
it that anyone would think that putting that kid into DCOAF care would make it safer for him?
Yeah, I know.
That's a very good point.
I don't know.
The Narcan thing, though, I will say, I think they're teaching in elementary level.
How to use it?
I do. I know that I've even been reading blogs about, like it's called dorm moms or something stupid on Facebook that gives moms an idea of like what to pack for school. And there's been several threads about sending your kid to school with Narcan, and I'm thinking, well, like that seems like a liability to me. Like
I know, but-
you're putting it in the hands of my kid
I know,
to
but
if
10
she were to
years
see
old.
someone else, whatever. But it's becoming a commonplace practice now to know what it is, know how to use it, whatever, because you never know when you're going to be near someone that. And again, I guess you can just get it at the pharmacy over the counter. It's not
Yeah.
like you have to have even like a script or permission from a doctor, anything. So to have you say that, but I would not be surprised if you find out that kids are learning about it in DARE programs and whatnot at an
Maybe.
elementary level.
Wow.
I'm an old man. That's the problem.
The governor just signed a bill yesterday. Very important to those of us who golf.
Oh,
In case we're out on the in case we're out on the 6th hole,
Yep.
What
Uh,
happened? And
3/4 of a mile from the clubhouse, they're going to have an AED device in the clubhouse
Yep.
Oh,
at every golf course to
really?
save us.
Yeah. Because
So
let me
some-
tell
I
you
don't know
something.
how they're going to get it
After
out to
some of my
I don't know how
stores-
they're going to get it out into the woods in the 6th hole.
Yeah,
But,
high-powered golf carts. They're Teslas.
oh, is that what it is?
Teslas.
There must have been enough heart attacks to support
There's
this
the way I play
decision.
golf, I would have a heart
I
attack
saw
every
that
time.
bill, and I get it. Fat old slobs smoking cigars and drinking too much, playing golf, thinking it's a sport.
In the hot
Guilty
sun.
as charged.
That have heart attacks a lot. You need an AED device in the building.
They should put them on every golf cart. is what
Mainly
they should
because
do.
it's a restaurant, I think, is more important
Right.
than
Yeah.
as a golf course. But no, they framed it as, oh, we need to make them safer on the golf
the
course. It's like,
golfers.
you do realize that half the golf course is over a half mile away from the building. What are you planning to do?
Someone's going to run out there.
Run them
Oh,
out.
I know what I'm planning to do. I'm planning to hold it up as a shiny object to make people think I'm a great person. These legislators are amazing. Just tell us we needed a golf course clubhouse because it's a clubhouse.
Yeah.
And it's a
Yeah, there
gathering
you
place
go.
for people.
Right.
And it's a restaurant.
John, tell us what's going on with the mayor of North Providence. I understand he's being sued.
He recruited a guy to close down his company and work for him, and then he basically had the public works director assigning him to do work at his private property, at his home in Narragansett, at his business loft building, and when they would buy materials to do repair work, they would charge it at Home Depot or Lowe's on the town's credit card, and then the mayor apparently was not reimbursing, and this employee was disciplined or something and fired because I guess he decided
doing
it was
it.
time to refuse to do this nonsense.
A long
And
drive
so
to Narragansett
He was
from North
fired, so
Providence.
now he is suing the town and the mayor
the mayor.
for his
There's
job
been
back
accusations
under
before
a
for
whistleblower
these
act.
same. Yeah.
And the mayor
Retaliation.
has not responded, which not to say that that's a guilty verdict, but
He's going to get it with his lawyer.
the guy brought evidence of things like text messages off of his phone.
Mm-hmm.
He's got a lot of evidence. And
Against
this
him.
doesn't, to me, look good. It's in the Valley Breeze
So
North
this
Providence edition.
Is
today.
interesting because also, and we won't start going into names, but the senior center director there in North Providence several years ago was brought up on the same charges.
Yes.
Wow.
Personal use of credit card, and there were a lot of mud
That's-
thrown at the time.
That's why the mayor
At
forced
him.
the nonprofit to stop running the place because
Exactly.
it was so badly run.
Because I was
and
running
he
the
was
meal
going
site
to
there
make
at
sure
the
the
time.
town
It was
took care of
messy. It was a very messy time, and
And it's also
By the
the
way, that
town.
senior
It's
center's
also the
beautiful.
town that pays the finance director, who is still part of a union, and has been getting longevity pay and all kinds of other things as a union person, while being in a position that's designated non-union. There's about 3 or 4 people that were in the union. They're phasing them out of the union, but not the 2 highest paid ones because they're going to be retiring anyway soon. So this woman, Marie Valley, who had improperly obtained HUD funds for personal use, had to give it back and was basically charged criminally with doing it. And then the decision was a settlement, and she has been apparently a loyal follower of Charlie Lombardi's because she's been able to not only keep her job, but she's paid something upwards of $180,000 to be the finance director there while still being a member of the union. So she'll collect probably 2 pensions when she retires, a union pension and the municipal pension system money. So she's doing quite well for herself,
Yeah.
in the good graces of Mayor Lombardi. I almost said Baldelli. Mayor Lombardi.
All right. Now, speaking of North Providence, a 55-year-old woman was arrested, charged with allegedly setting off fireworks inside her apartment building stairwell. Now, she lives in this apartment building, and she decided to set off the fireworks inside. It happened over the weekend at the Spring Villa Apartments, if you know where that is. And no injuries were reported, and the staircase is deemed safe despite having damage to the staircase. She's charged with first-degree arson, so she intentionally did this.
Yeah, I'm not. Why would
Allegedly.
you do that? Why, Joe?
See if they really work. I don't know.
Bugs Bunny moment.
So-
What a
What
maroon.
a maroon. That's right. All right, we're going to take another break here on the Coffee and Program. So, Tim, time for a second message from Navigant Credit Union.
Thank you, Joe. Hey, if you've got a young person out there, we have this cool account called the Embark account. We've talked about it before here on the show. But what's great about the account right now at this moment in time, if you open an Embark account for your young person, or they open the account between June 16th and June 28th, they will be entered into a chance to win an Apple Watch. And by the way, you can use your online banking on your Apple Watch, which is great. So if you are interested in starting your child off right in their financial journey, then we suggest that you use the Embark account. It's essentially what we would call a checking account without checks. It's an electronic account that allows students to use debit cards and their phones for transactions. They can deposit gifts that they get on birthdays and other special occasions into their account using their phone. There's text banking involved. Melissa's daughters, I think, have the Embark account.
we love it. And you can also use it as a source of chore funds and
Right.
removal of funds
Right.
when there is
Right.
poor behavior.
Right, because the parents
The parent has
actually have
access.
ultimate control over the account. But we are trying to, again, teach kids how to manage money correctly. Now, if you are interested in doing this, then you can do it online at navigantcu.org. You can open up the account online with as little as $10, just like any one of our other accounts that we have at Navigant. And we would be happy to teach your child a little bit more about personal financial responsibility.
All right. All right, more of the Coffee AM program coming your way. If you have any comments or questions, call them in at 766-1240.
ON 1240.
Attention Rhode Island landlords. Did you know that Rhode Island has a new registry for rental properties and units? Register today at rentalregistry.ri.gov. It's the law. If your property was built before 1978, you'll need to submit a lead certificate from a licensed lead inspector. Getting a lead certificate may take some time, so start today. Learn more at rentalregistry.ri.gov. Help keep Rhode Island families safe. rentalregistry.ri.gov. Sponsored by the Rhode Island Department of Health and the Rhode Island Broadcasters Association.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hey guys, let's talk ED because millions of men experience it, but not everyone can access or afford treatments like Viagra. Well, HIMS can help. Through HIMS.com, you can get a full range of treatment options for ED, including daily or as-needed meds through a 100% online process. It all starts with an online intake form. Get started at hims.com/joy, and from there, a medical provider licensed in your state will determine if ED treatment is right for you. If prescribed, your medication is shipped to you for free. Find the ED treatment that fits your needs with options up to 95% less than the brand names. Millions of men experience ED, but HIMS can help. To start your free online visit and save up to 95%, go to hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy for your free online visit. HIMS.com/JOY.
We're local and live at 99.5 FM.
It is Coffee In here on ON, AM, and FM. Thanks for joining us. Joe Callahan here with Melissa Smith and Tim Draper and John Ward. And has anyone do you know anyone that used 23andMe to find out their genealogy?
No, I used
The other one?
Ancestry.com one.
John, anybody use 23andMe?
Oh, actually, I do. I do know somebody.
Coming from as large a family as I have, I'm sure some of my family members have, but I don't know which ones specifically.
30 states are suing 23andMe.
Yeah.
They did file for bankruptcy. The lawsuit seeks to stop the company from auctioning off the private genetic data of around 15 million customers.
How can they do that?
Auction it off?
Yeah.
Well, you sent it to them on your own volition.
Yeah.
So when I'm sure in the small print it says it's now ours and to do with as we please.
Yeah.
The lawsuit argues DNA data, health-related traits, and medical records are too sensitive to be sold without each person's consent. Customers of 23andMe can also take steps to have their genetic information that's stored by the company deleted.
But you're saying that you may
have
have
to
already
jump through
given them
hoops.
the authority to do that.
You
If
might,
you've
yeah.
In the documents that you signed.
That's right, but is that all null and void when it goes bankrupt?
I don't know.
I don't know.
Good question for Mr. Lauder.
That's a louder question.
No, it's
Get
an
ready, Bob.
It's an asset that has a value that can be sold, so it can't be just gone. You can't just take away their assets without going through the
Yeah, but I guess the
procedure.
question would be, when you agreed to do that, did you think at any point in time when you were signing a document that said you were giving them the rights
Doesn't matter
to your
what you think, it's
information?
what you signed.
Well, I know, but does it even say it in
You
the
can
sign?
think a lot of things, doesn't matter.
You know, assets transferable upon whatever whatever that language is in one of those contracts.
I know, but I think when I put $1 million in the bank, I don't think that if they go bankrupt, I'm only going to get 250 back, just
You think
because
you're
that's what
gonna
the FDIC insures.
Yeah, you
I
want $1 million.
think I'm going to get $1 million back.
Yeah. I
Can the
see.
bank guarantee it? Should they owe it to me?
Oh, 250,000. That's what the insurance is. But it would never happen at Navigant Credit.
Oh, it never happens until it does. Sell it to the market, folks.
That's right.
We have plenty of assets, folks.
I always remember that. I don't think Melissa
billion.
won't remember this, but Risdick, the insurance company.
Oh, please don't go there. Oh my God, we're
Carved
going
in
there, aren't
sand.
we? We're going there, aren't we? Oh,
That's
Jesus,
great.
Mary and Joseph.
That was great.
All right. Drinking sugar could
so
be
many people in so much
I know.
denial.
Drinking sugar could be worse for you than eating it. All right.
Oh gosh,
they
that's
call
been
it
proven for so long.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They call it Coca-Cola.
Researchers at Brigham Young University found that drinking sugar, like soda or juice, is linked to a higher risk of developing type 2 diabetes. They say that sugars typically found in drinks disrupt the liver's metabolism more than food, causing a greater impact on blood sugar.
You know what's even worse?
Worse than drinking sugar?
Drinking sugar-free products
Is
that
gonna-
are
is that-
dietary.
Is that going to give you worse stuff?
I think so. Yes, one of the worst products you can put in your body is Diet Coke. In
I've
my,
heard- I have
in
heard
my
of that.
opinion.
Yeah.
Humble opinion.
I can still hear our pediatrician telling us when our girls became toddlers, eat the fruit, don't drink the fruit.
Yeah.
Yep.
So a lot of juices, people don't even realize the extra sugar added into those and additives and whatever else, but eat the fruit. It's natural sugar.
So those little
Better
juice
for your
boxes
body.
are no good.
I love them though.
So convenient.
I still buy Mott's Tots for my
Right, there you
girls
go.
just to be
Well,
able
it's
to
Mott's, it's
grab on the
gotta be
ride to
good.
school. Well, if they're eating breakfast on the fly, I'm like, at least take a Mott's Tots with you. I
Right.
feel like a better mom. It's watered down
Feel
apple
like
juice.
a better mom.
Something.
So then this is really all about you.
Hydrate. It really is. It's all about me. Always, really, truly.
I know everyone's a big R. Kelly fan.
Oh, huge.
Oh wow.
Huge.
Lawyers for him say
Oh, we
they're-
must be getting ready to move up onto the Karen Reed trial.
I gotta close with
Please
Karen
leave
Reed.
time.
No, well, there's nothing.
Save some time.
I'll try. All right. R. Kelly says that his client's life is in danger behind bars. Well, isn't every prisoner's life in
kidding.
danger
His
behind
life
bars?
should be in
that's the
danger
point.
behind bars.
P. Diddy will be with them soon.
The singer's legal team says they have uncovered evidence of government wrongdoing by prosecutors in Chicago and New York. They plan to file an emergency motion in federal court and are seeking Kelly's immediate release from federal facilities in North Carolina. He's serving 30 years for sexual misconduct. So there.
Yeah, that's definitely an I don't care thing.
All right. Is there anything new in the Karen Reed trial? The defense is still going.
Well, apparently the cross-examination of the defense witness doctor or
The medical examiner?
specialist was kind of humorous in the questions and answers given.
Yeah.
Right from the get-go, like I was just seeing something posted about the very first statement by the prosecutor to the defense witness was, "Good afternoon," and she said, "No, we have 7 minutes left before it's afternoon."
The doctor said that?
Yes.
Oh, so she's
Wow.
a special little.
Yeah.
And
Oh, she's a
it was
piece
sorta
of work, I'm sure.
Starting asking questions about, is the damage on the tail light consistent with the body damage? Said, I didn't consider that because there was no car accident. It's like,
I think they tried to trip her up. The only parts I heard
Yeah.
was, I understand you were the head Emmy in Rhode Island for 20 years.
Yeah.
No, 12. Oh, yeah, 12. So it's like, I think she knows her
yeah,
stuff.
but it didn't,
Just a little
apparently
sharp.
it didn't go well for them.
But then-
I'm
but
still
then-
saying mistrial.
I do too.
Hung jury.
We'll see.
She will never be convicted.
But they kept going on and on because she was the Emmy during the station nightclub fire, and they kept
Yeah.
asking her questions about that. I said, "What does that got to do with anything?"
They tried to catch her. Well, that was another one. They were trying to catch her on technical
Yeah.
details about
Really?
what she
I
said
didn't
or
realize
did.
that there were issues. I have not been following it closely, actually, but this morning I saw a little summary snippet that the judge was saying that she absolutely will not label this a mistrial. Like it's not gonna be a hung jury. It's gonna be,
Who said this?
I guess, the judge.
How does that
I
happen?
Did the
don't
judge get
I
away
know.
talking like
So,
that?
but the story goes on to say, well, again, this is reported on
That's
local
going to be
news,
a
but
challenge. Legal challenge.
it goes back to how we started the show today. But what I will say is, I didn't know that there were issues with things like air conditioning inside the courtroom, and the fact that they had to turn it off because of noise level, and they think that some of the testimonies that were given were possibly muffled by the air conditioning, and now they can't go back. Just stupid little quirky things inside the building.
Well, the building's about 1,000
and she's been
years old.
irritable, I guess. The judge has been very
To me,
cranky and.
the most egregious part of this whole process for Reed's trial is the judge herself.
Yeah.
She's awful.
She
Well,
is
that's what-
awful.
yeah.
She's awful. She has
From
no
the
business
beginning.
being on the bench.
She
She's
shouldn't have been-
biased.
Yes.
She is, and to my mind, it appears that she is convinced Reed should be put in jail and is guilty, and she's not going to hear it. If the jury
other
says
thing,
something,
She's going to reverse
I
it.
don't know whether she has authority to reverse it or overrule it, but
She'll
the one thing
try.
she can't overrule is a hung jury.
Right.
If
Yeah.
they say innocent or if they say guilty, she can say no innocent. I don't know if they say not guilty. She can say guilty.
So two hung juries mean that's it. Like Karen Reed
Well, I
can
think
never
they
be
could
tried
retry it
again.
again.
Right?
The state could retry it again if they wanted to go through it, because it's no double
It is
indemnity,
just
right? No
it
double
is
jeopardy.
fascinating though. I mean, all of it. You hope all of this kind of is juicy content
It's
for
just
the
going to be
follow
a
up on
movie
Netflix.
and
But
all kinds of stuff.
The simple fact is, whether or not the Canton police did anything illegal, committed crimes, did anything like that, is they are awful screw-ups.
100%.
Awful.
They messed
And
up.
there was so many things they messed up that it's almost pointless to try to prosecute this case.
So did the medical examiner, did I hear this correctly, as again this morning on the news, which who knows how accurate it was, did she insinuate that there was no frostbite on his skin?
She did. She said no frostbite. She said he died of a fracture, blunt force trauma to the back of his head because there was a line in skin abrasion along the back of the skull. So her implication was he fell backwards and hit something with a sharp edge, like my thought would be
Like a
stair
coffee table?
or a coffee table.
Okay.
A stair tread or a coffee
Oh,
table.
you put him back inside.
And then
They dragged him out.
They dragged him out of the
And
house.
that's what's so strange, because you're thinking to yourself, if there's no evidence of frostbite on that body, that would be impossible, because if he were laying there in the snow, even if he were dead, you know, it's just like a piece of chicken in your freezer. It still gets a little frostbite.
That's a great description.
But
You
I
were
don't
all
keep
thinking
playing
it.
like
You
I
were
used to
all
chicken.
thinking it.
I love the thing about the medical examiner's cross-examination was simply that they kept trying to insinuate into it. So what did you think about how this body was with relation to the movements of the car and 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 the car? And she kept saying, I didn't consider that. He wasn't hit by a car. I didn't consider that. He wasn't hit by a car.
So she wasn't ruffled. She was like
She
on
wasn't
her
getting
own
sucked
path
into
of
it.
this is what
Her mind is made up. She examined it. She made a determination. That's it.
That's it.
He wasn't hit by a car.
Yeah.
Period.
I'm not convinced either, although I think Karen Reed is wackadoodle.
Oh,
but,
yeah. I don't
But
know.
you just keep going back to, how have they not figured out, like, the acceleration of the car? There would be tire mark. There'd be something to hit him at a certain speed, to fling his body in a certain direction. Like, none of that has even been proven
Accident
still.
reconstruction guys saying that that even when they did it at that speed, it wouldn't have created the damage.
It wouldn't have
that
created the
killed him.
damage. So,
And, of
and
course,
the dog bite marks still get
Of course,
me.
the homeowner being a police officer.
Yep.
And everything that was done immediately following the incident
Yep.
is basically implicates him in a death.
Yeah.
And it's a cover-up.
Yeah.
There's just so many things that happened that make you have to question, if you're sitting on a jury, how can you not consider that reasonable doubt?
The other thing when you say, Tim, you know, when he hit his head in the house and they dragged him outside, but are there any footprints? Are there any dragging of the body, or did they carry him? I know it was snowing that
they
night.
didn't
so it could've been
It was a
covered up
party in
quickly.
the house. There'd be a lot of footprints.
Well,
in
the
the
person
snow.
that found the body outside would have made the footprints in the snow.
Well, what about
Or
if
the
you're
person who
dragging the
put them
body?
there.
Would there be any?
Did you
But
drag
don't
it or did you
forget,
carry
they
it?
didn't find the shoe the first time that they found the body or whatever, and they found it later covered by snow. So they didn't do a good investigation. So even if
Right.
there were footprints in the snow at the time that he was dragged out there, it could have gotten covered over with another 2 or 3 inches of snow.
She's not guilty
But-
by reason of incompetence.
Exactly. Boom.
All right, Disney's taking full
Case
control of Hulu, in case you care. The media giant has agreed to pay Comcast more than $438 million to buy its stake in the streaming service.
So I have an issue with this.
You do? Okay.
It just became
boycott
apparent
Disney?
to me. I don't have little kids anymore, so I don't care, right? But we get Disney free through maybe the TV that I don't know how we have it free.
Yeah.
So then you open up the Disney app, and then you have access to Hulu and a couple other channels.
ESPN.
Now,
Plus.
I'm a fan of, shows that have been on Hulu, like Handmaid's Tale and some other shows. But the thought of having my little kid open up Disney and now have access to this whole world, and I don't believe there are parental controls on the other channels. They must be, right?
There's
there
parental
has to
controls
be
on the TV.
on the app, though. So once you open the Disney app, and then you have access to all
No,
those other
no.
channels.
When we open the Disney app at my house, it's got the adults sign on
Yep.
and the children's. And the adults, if they set it up properly, the adults would not just allow the kids to go to the adult sign in. But the offerings, the channel offerings, when you go into each one, are completely different.
Okay. And you know what? It's probably because we do have the little heads of who's looking at what account. But I'm thinking I'm not familiar with that step of adding the password, but there has to be a password option for which person's opening.
I suspect there is.
Okay, well then I feel better because I was thinking to myself, all of those shows.
All right, got to wrap things up. So we thank you very much for listening in. Always appreciated. So Melissa Smith.
At least once a month.
Thanks for coming in today.
Thank you for having me. See you in a couple weeks.
All right, Tim, thanks for coming in.
Joe, thanks very much for having me.
Very good. And John, thanks
Been
for
a
being
pure
here.
pleasure, and it's a beautiful day out there. So please go out and enjoy the God.
Happy anniversary, honey, by the way.
Oh, that's right. Happy anniversary, Tim.
Hey, happy anniversary.
37 years, baby.
Gary Smith and Cruz coming up after the 9 o'clock news. We'll talk at 2 this afternoon.
Did you say?
Broadcasting live and local daily from the Navigant Credit Union broadcast studio at the corner of Park Avenue and Kennedy Street. This is WOON Woonsocket Radio. And now, the news.
NBC News Radio, I'm Michael Kastner. Protests against immigration and customs enforcement